How do you maintain win-win situation in relationship?
Well, I would start by looking at business first.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty. And marriage, it's signing a contract.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So in business, you're not going to work with somebody if there's not some benefit to you. Like you're not gonna employ a company to install a new heating system in your house if you, your house is not going to be warmer and more comfortable as a result. So that's win-win, right? The
Mm-hmm.
company makes the products, does the installation, does the work, gets the money, they win. You get a warmer house, you win, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so that's win-win principle. How can we understand that we need to fulfill somebody else's need and we do that by bringing value? So understand that if you're not bringing value to the
Mm-hmm.
relationship, then it will require you to imbalance the relationship with win-lose scenarios in order to
Mm.
hide the fact that you haven't brought value to the relationship. Like in any relationship that's failed in the past, you could probably look back and think, okay, well, either they didn't bring the right level of value to it or I didn't bring the right level of value to it. Because that which is valuable you appreciate and respect. Yeah, you don't have something around about you which is really valuable to you and throw it away. Or break it or smash it up or whatever. You don't.
Mm-hmm. It's clear now. Got the point.
Right. You know what's crazy? I'll tell you what crazy is. Crazy is the fact that we have to ask the question, how do we achieve win-win in our relationships? Because that shows us that we have very, very little experience of it in the past. And not just personally, like from our family and the people around about us, right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's like somebody saying, "How do I make orange juice?" Well, you've obviously never seen oranges before, right? Right?
Mm.
How do I make a milkshake? Well, you've obviously never seen anybody make a milkshake before.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a method, there's a system, there's a recipe, there's a prescription for it. And and that, you said, where do I begin? I'm like, well, we can't begin with relationships because obviously you wouldn't ask that question if you already knew how to do that. So we begin with business, where it's really completely obvious.
It's obvious.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that I work for somebody, provide some value for them. They give me some money, and I take that and give that to somebody else who provides value for me.
Mm-hmm.
And there we have a value-led system, which is where all
Mm.
societies fall apart when values are misunderstood. Because they then think we need sponsorship for everything to work. And it's like, well, charity is a nice thing, but you don't understand real value when everybody gives everything for nothing, because there is no nothing. There is time and effort and energy and interest and value. And those that do better or do more or provide greater services should get more as a result. Those who bring more value. Like, it's crazy that football players get paid 20, 30, 40 million pounds a year, but these football players are actually generating in income and revenue for other people a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So they're only paid that because they actually have that real value. Now, why does Brad Pitt get 40 million for a film? Because he has created a personal brand that is worth that value and brings that much value to other people. Oh, it's terrible that these people get paid so much. Well, no, because that's the value they bring.
Mm-hmm.
You want all actors to be paid the same amount of money, then you won't know who brings value or not, and you'll be confused. So the I'm I don't I'm not sure that we should approach personal relationships like businesses, but it's really important to realize that marriage is a contract, and a contract has certain levels of responsibilities. And it is perhaps the most important contract because, it's a contract we sign for life. Like imagine your phone contract was a contract for life, right?
Oh God.
I'm sorry. sorry, I don't mean to make you panic, right? But just imagine that. Imagine.
Yeah, a year is long enough.
Yeah. No shit. Exactly. Exactly, because the shit's gonna change, right? Some company's gonna come along with a better offer.
Don't apply that to marriage.
I know. It's just like somebody's gonna come along with a nicer set of abs. I don't know. I don't know. It people's values, right? People's values. But um, you've got to realize that the relationship must be based always on this principle of understanding that as human beings we're competitive, but win-lose is such a negative outcome for the relationship that it has to be win-win. It has to be. It's that's where letting go leads to holding on. And what I mean by that is that the ability to let go of it mattering to you whether you win or lose can save relationships for people. Because that ability to say it doesn't matter to me if I win or lose, because I know that going forward is going forward. And we've got to do it in a positive way, right? You can't go around just thinking it's okay if I lose all the time. That's not the right way to think about it. And if you are losing all the time, then someone else is winning, and why do they want to win? And that's not positive, right? And if you feel like you're losing in something, it's like, well, what? Then you feel like they're winning, and if you feel like they're winning, that creates resentment. And then if you ask them and they're not winning, they're losing, then you fucked up because you're both losing.
So who is winning?
Yeah. Then who's winning? Fucking nobody's winning then. So it's what's the point? You change the shit and get to the next level, or move on, right? And that's where people will very often choose to move on rather than change the shit and get to the next level, because they'll be like, well, it's easier. It's like,
again, changing the environment.
Oh yeah, it's
changing what
it's like a pack of cards. It's like, okay, we'll just shuffle the cards again and deal them out. Right, it's the same bloody cards, right? So it's yeah. People don't understand that there can't really be winners and losers in relationships. There have to be winners and winners. Because you both have to be elevating the partner to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if we're in a relationship and I elevate myself to one level, then I need to elevate you to the same level so that we're playing the same game, and in the same way. It's like with those the Division Two football team gets into Division One, you've got to take half your players and maybe get rid of them because they're not up for the game at the next level.
Because
It's
you can't use them in a game.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or you have to elevate them to that level,
Mm.
right? Which requires somebody to want to pull somebody else up and the other person to want to be pulled up as well.
Oh, that's important point. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. You know, have you ever tried to get a cat to go somewhere where it doesn't want to go? Right? You know, it's like, eh,
No.
yeah.
A
And that's
cat?
what.
How about a child?
Oh, child. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, children learn
Let's
negotiation skills very quickly,
yeah.
right?
If they don't want to go somewhere, they just go floppy. And you can use them.
Mm, it depends what they've learned, right?
Mm.
It depends how they've learned to deal with conflict, and conflict is a result of conflict is a result of a lack of negotiation skills. A lack of negotiation skills or a lack of negotiation experience, which means that everything is a dictate to them. Go there, do this, wear that, come here, sit down, stand up, shut up, go to bed.
Training a dog, not a
Yes.
person.
Yeah. And now that more people have pets than children,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen if that reverses? What's going to happen? People are going to treat children as pets because they've got more experience with pets than they have with kids. That's going to be freaky.
Mm.
Yeah, and you know the they don't get it. They don't get it at all. They don't get it. You know, it's it's a disease, is what it is.